Thank you for coming to this session today. My aim is to talk you through some of the resources that we have here at MATFLIX and Midwifery Forum in order to help you to keep your practice up to date and to make it simple for you to do so. We all have a responsibility to keep up to date midwifery practice. As we know, everything is changing all the time. And this is not just in this country, but it is globally as well. And obviously in the UK, we have particular rules that we apply to our revalidation by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. This might be quite different for you if you are in another country. It is possible that you have your own rules of revalidation of how you keep up to practice, or it's possible that you don't have anything at all. So using these resources will also help you to keep your practice up to date and to be aware of what is going on in other countries in order to have good midwifery practice. So for the NMC revalidation, these are the rules, is that you are to evidence 450 hours of practice over 3 years. You're also to show evidence of at least 35 hours of continuous professional development. At least 20 hours of those must be participatory, which I will explain a little bit more in a minute. And following that, you also have to write 5 written reflective accounts of your participation in CPD. And then you have a reflective and confirmation discussion with somebody who is senior to you to talk those through, who will then actually sign you off for the NMC. So it is actually worth thinking about preparing for how you're going to actually undertake this CPD over the next 3 years if you have yet to do so. And just remember as well, you've got to keep accurate records of any CPD that you have undertaken. There could be a variety of methods. It could be the fact that you have read a research article and you need to reflect on that. But it also could be related to whether you've attended conferences, or certainly within this world that we have at the moment of attending online sessions and conferences. So you need to make sure very carefully that you are recording what it is that you are undertaking, including the number of hours and whether they are participatory. You then also have to discuss which part of the code that we have is most relevant to your activity. So do remember to record the fact that you are attending this conference today, if you're doing so, if you're attending it online, or if you are watching this particular session, that you can actually include it within your CPD activity. So to introduce you to the resources that we have here, attendance at the maternity and midwifery festivals, whether it's face-to-face, which we're obviously not doing very much of at the moment, whether it's face-to-face or whether you are attending online for a whole day, then this is participatory learning and you can record it as such. And at the end of attendance, you can also ask for an attendance certificate, which you can use as evidence of your attendance. I would also like to introduce you to the MATFLIX box sets for your personal learning. What these are a selection of videos or talks that have been from the back catalogue in relation to the conferences, which I have drawn together in different topics which are relevant to midwifery practice. So whether this is to do with public health, which is, if you look there, it's one that says behaviour and lifestyle in pregnancy. Then it's drawn together a selection of 5 videos and talks, which includes with it some references and links to government policy documents which are appropriate for you to then look up and to follow on your learning with. It also includes a set of reflective questions which you can then use to demonstrate your learning. There's many different topics now that are being brought out. There are a number there. There's only obviously the 3 being illustrated there. So do have a look online and see what's most applicable to you. I mean, there are some of them, for example, that one there which says developing preceptorship support for newly qualified midwives is very applicable to those who are setting up preceptorship schemes within their trusts in order to support staff. So it might be quite useful to you if you are within that situation. There are different ones that are relevant to education, to midwifery, to students, but really to everybody concerned. Once you have completed those reflective questions, then they can be used to expand for your NMC submission for revalidation. So it is worth actually answering those questions, because it's very difficult when you then have to go back 3 years later or a year later and you have forgotten what it is that you've watched. So that's what the purpose of MATFLIX is in order to help you, and you can also get certificates in order to evidence what you have been watching as well. These are the current price of the box sets and subscriptions that you can obtain at the moment. And you can also get a special online rate if you have attended the festival as well. So do think about having a look at those from a personal perspective. Just be aware that there will be new ones coming out each month as well. So it is worth having a subscription, because then you can keep up to date with the new ones that are coming out. The other thing is that they can be used as an education resource for educators. Don't really want to be reinventing the wheel in a lot of ways. So what you can do is to subscribe to these box sets and use them, for example, in Flipping the Classroom, is that you can get your students to watch them, and then you can set up a debate and discussion around the topics that are in there. And there are resources, of course, in each of those box sets with reference example, where they can also go off and find other information. So it is there to make it easy for you as educators too. They can also be used by practice educators. So for example, there's one particularly around screening, and there's another one that is around stillbirth. And you might want your whole team in order to actually be looking at these box sets and to discuss them and to take it forward within your practice. There is a complete back catalogue as well for teaching resources that can be obtained. So please make contact with the team in order to find out about the cost of this for your universities and your areas of practice. So thank you very much for listening. As you can see that we are across social media, and do keep in touch with what's going on, and do let us know if there's any other topics that I have not been producing for you as well. So thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing more from you.